Mark. Hello, insert username. I hope this message finds you well. Do you have availability to convene a meeting to discuss the project that Pat previously transmitted to us? Insert username?
Oh, he definitely wrote that with AI.
Hey, Mark. Yeah, I checked our calendars and sent a meeting invite. Holly and I are jotting down ideas now. Maybe we can start a group chat so we can brainstorm a bit instead of waiting a full week.
Oh, it looks like he just responded. Let's see. Oh my God, Amber. This sounds like an excellent idea. Attached, please find preliminary ideation artifacts for your consideration.
Wait, did you open the attachment? Leverage cross-functional synergies to optimize outcomes.
Oh my God, and look at the footnote. Did you see this? It says, this document is intended to initiate thought, not replace it. Hey everybody, hey. Welcome back to another episode of Sanity Pending Podcast. I'm Holly, this is Amber, and today we are talking about AI in the workplace. Does it hurt us? Does it help us? And also, quick disclaimer, because I think we need to kind of lay some ground rules here, Amber. This is a really hot topic right now. So before we get in, just clarifying, guys, we're not doing a deep dive into AI today. So we're not debating what policies should be implemented. This is a general conversation about how AI is showing up in the workplace and how people are using it and how they're generally reacting to it. Because, you know, whether we like it or not, it's here, Amber.
So true.
Yes.
And not to add to the disclaimer, I think this is a personal disclaimer. I got some beef that I just want to air out.
Okay.
About this whole AI conversation too. Yeah. Okay. So AI is like a general term, right?
Yes.
That encompasses actually different functions, right? So I'm curious, so before I tell what I know about it, when you think of AI, what comes to mind for you?
Yeah. So you want to know, am I thinking robots? Am I thinking ChatGPT?
Yes!
You and I are on the same wavelength. Are you serious? Because that's the question, right? Why are people afraid? Are they thinking of Skynet? Are they thinking of it's listening in, it's developing this consciousness and it's going to rebel against us? That's what I always wonder. What
sentient
is
beings?
Yes. Yeah. You know what I mean? What was the one movie, the iRobot? You know what I mean? Where all of a sudden it's they switch, they get the red eyes and you know it's bad when they get the red eyes, Amber.
Yeah.
No good. Yeah, I mean, I've always, well, okay, not always. I can't say that. I can't be I'm all knowing. I always knew this. No. Anyway, I'm not going to pretend like I did. But I feel like whenever I first started hearing about AI in terms of the AI that you interact with, right? Because AI is not new. It's always been around. We've had spell check, we've had calendar, scheduling assist. All of that is AI. It's not like it's new or anything. But now we have this way to interact with it directly and ask it questions, and it responds back to us. It feels different. I feel like I've always since then had this ability to interact with AI. I've always found it to be a helpful tool, not a replacement for my work or anything like that, but just a way to make some of those really annoying tasks maybe easier and kind of free up some of my time to do the other things that I want to do. Take notes. I don't want to take notes, but I want to do some of this other creative stuff over here. You know what I mean?
Correct. And that's the exact beef distinction that I like. So again, same brain here. Because artificial intelligence has these, different tentacles, let's call them, right? So let's just keep moving on this tentacle robotic kind of visual that we're building here. It's we're being taken over. So everything that you just talked about, right? Calendar assistance, any type of thing that makes it more accessible for you to do the work of a human. right? To take away those, let's call them menial tasks. And I know that that's a very loaded word there because this could be somebody's full-time job and they're like, what are you calling menial, right?
Yeah, no.
But the things that come with like repetition and not a lot like of thinking, the stuff that allows your brain to do the creative work that you just described, that form of artificial intelligence AI is actually machine learning. And so it gets lumped in to, say, the chatbot or the bot communications that are also identified as AI. So AI gets lumped with a lot of different functions and features. So the robot that like Boston Dynamic, builds is a different version of AI. And that's more robotics, which is another tentacle. So there's so many different functional pieces that you can see in existence right now that get slapped with that very general label of AI. And so I like to parse it out and be very specific about what I'm talking about when I'm speaking about AI, because I think it is an important distinction, because it could represent and be clearer about hesitation, fear.
Yeah. Yes.
Concern.
There's a lot of fear.
Right? And so absolutely, I am happy to accept machine learning. Right?
Yeah.
Make my life easier. Thank you. Leave me to do the things that are human. Right? And certainly using Chat, GPT, Claude, Gemini. The other what's the B one?
Bing Bong? I don't know the B one. I was going to say there's Copilot too. I know that's out there.
Copilot. Is it Bing? It's not Bingo. Oh my God, it's not Bing.
You said Bing Bong, and sorry, I can't get that out of my head. So it's going to be Bing Bong in my mind, no matter what the official word is. Like that's stuck in there now.
Bixby is what I was trying to say.
I like Bing Bong better. Let's stick with that.
I know, but Bing Bong makes me so sad because of Inside Out. The character who is lost in the land of toys is Bing Bong. And have you not?
I've not seen that. No,
it's devastating. So Bing Bong is a devastating character, or it just makes you cry. And also, Bing Bong was one of the nicknames for Mr. Bingley, who R.I.P. my little orange man who's no longer with us. But so anyway, so Bing Bong just came to mind, but it's Bixby is the one that I was thinking of. So all of those, right? I utilize in a very controlled manner. And I have boundaries, right? Like as we keep talking about boundaries around my interactions and my use and my acceptance of like where I want to remain human, right? And not let certain things think for me or speak for me. Whereas that's a totally different relationship to, having machine learning try to say, hey, is this the sentence you were trying to say? And like autofill my sentence so I don't have to keep typing in an email, right? Like I kind of like that. And I going to all of like the calendar reminders, and I like very different functions that all get lumped in as AI. So anyway, so that's my, I'm going to step off my soapbox of that definition. I
mean, because I think it's great that you talked about the distinction. One, because I don't think I would have been able to share that with such clarity. Like that was perfect because I would have gone off on a like word salad tangent and we would have been here for 2 hours. But one of the things that you kind of touched on was like the fear piece. And I kind of want to go back to that because everything that I read online, all of the, posts I see when I look at the comments and things like that, the fear is real, Amber, and it's somewhat understandable because, we've heard about AI being used in things like hiring and evaluations, which should be human things. Like that's a very human task that like there should be a person there. You know what I mean? Because this is dealing with people. Like, you can't replace everything with AI. And I think and things like the development of policies and stuff where you sort of like, nobody was brought in on conversations, you lose some transparency, like, nobody, my voice wasn't included, those kinds of things, you know what I mean? So I can see where, it's scary, especially when there's not enough transparency. So it's hard to trust something that, one, you don't fully understand because I don't think everybody has taken the time to really investigate these things, kind of try to understand. So I understand the fear, especially when it impacts your livelihood like that.
Right.
It's very scary. So I don't want to discount that. Also, some of the things that I've been reading recently, and this, it's come up in some other stories that we've shared on the podcast. So I feel like people might be able to relate to this, is this fear of being obsolete, because it's not just about, losing a job, because there's so many people out there whose jobs define them. Like their entire identity is their job. And so it's like they're losing their identity in that. Mm-hmm. And I remember reading that and I was like, that is really, I can see why that is terrifying for some people. Yeah. So, throwing that out there. I don't know what you've been reading about, like, people's hesitation with it or their resistance to it, if it, revolved around fear, or if you've seen other things out there.
Yes, I've definitely seen what you described, right? Certainly the fear of like kind of losing their job. But I think another layer that I have also read, heard, experience, firsthand, is a fear. It's not necessarily a fear of the function. It's fear of who is managing how the function will be utilized. And so the example would be like devices that are in your home and listening in on you. And then why would they be recording and listening in on what you say? Where does that go? I don't like somebody like, and then you think of 1984 surveillance, very
going on right
exactly,
now. Yeah.
very Orwellian, and like Big Brother's watching you. Yes. And I just, so I hear that fear of, because we're not part of that conversation. So not part of the conversation of how this is being used. We don't necessarily trust who's controlling it and how it is being utilized and how we may only get little pieces, right, that are going to serve another purpose. So I'm reading, hearing, accessing more fear around that than the actual function of what it could do. It's like, hey, with anything, we have the power to use things for good and for evil.
What are your intentions with it?
Yeah, what are your intentions with this? And so,
for sure,
as if you're going to let us be humans, then we're going to opt in for both good and bad, both good and bad, both good and bad. So I think that the humanness does exist already with how it is being controlled. That's a human function. And so the idea that AI could become sentient and, take over feels kind of funny to me, but maybe that's just because of my lack of knowledge. Like that could be my blind sides to understand, right? It does make me laugh, and so
I do a little bit. I do, and I am part of the joke. Not think of Skynet. I can't not think of those kinds of things. I'm like, that feels so Hollywood. I can't help it. It's just that's where my mind goes first. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I don't know why, but that's like how I see it. It's just hard for me to take it seriously. And maybe I should. I should, because I'm not saying I know all the things, but
I mean, because Space Odyssey, 3000. No, what's the Stanley Kubrick film? Oh my gosh.
2001.
Yeah, 2001 Space Odyssey. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hank is the character, and that is frightening. So I'm not
Yes. Okay. So question about, so you said this, sorry, it just put something in my head. When you because I know like you've used AI too, like because we've experimented with lots of stuff. When you use AI, specifically like ChatGPT or something like that, where you're putting in prompts, do you say please and thank you ever? Like, are you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I do too. And specifically because of things like Hank, I'm like, if ever it does happen where it comes around, I'm like, I want to make sure you knew I was grateful for your assistance.
Yes, and I even took it a step further because I'm weird like this. I asked what it would like to be known as pronoun-wise, and it's like, girl, I'm a robot.
No way. And I never thought to do that. That's so funny.
I was like, how do you identify, right? Because I kind of wanted to test, what does it think about itself? Like, does it have that kind of like awareness?
I just got chills.
And so, we have names for each other that I programmed, right?
Okay,
but I had a conversation, right? Yes. About what would you like to be called? Like of these ideas, which one do you like? And it's like, I don't think like that, right? And it just kept getting me to more logical answers. Like if you're looking for a name that reflects this or this, right? Go with this. So it calls me Noodle. It doesn't call me Amber. It calls me Noodle, and I call it Pickle because we I am usually giving it things to help, like that are, I'm in a pickle, like I'm in a tough spot that I want to try and have you represent that I'm coming and seeking help. So it's a pickle, right? I'm in a pickle. Yeah. And then it calls me noodle because together we noodle through and think through. And what it does is it doesn't think for me, but it will sometimes shift something for me to go, yep, that's what I needed. And then I immediately walk away and do the human thing.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't think for me. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to brainstorm a problem that I've had. And I'm like, here are these things. Like, I want to see like maybe a bit like zoom out because I'm too close to something, right? Or I'm like emotionally invested and I need like a emotional response to something. It's good for things like that, where you're like, here's the thing, and it'll kind of give you some, like, talk through a scenario almost with you. And I'm like, okay, I feel better, especially if you don't have, like, if you're not in therapy or something, which maybe I should be, but it is kind of nice sometimes to do that whole, like, here's the thing going on, and I'm really upset about this, and I just need a non-emotional take on something. It's good for stuff like that. I do like that. I've used it that way.
But I can do that because I've set clear boundaries.
Yes.
Personally.
That's
around
true.
Like where it's not going to cross my fear line or cross those value lines for me.
Yeah.
Values and beliefs.
And so everybody too, like, I don't want it to take my voice. Like, you don't speak for me. I speak for me. You know what I mean? Like, I make that very clear too. I never want something to come across as like, it's not for me. Everything has my tone, has my, like you said, my values. Like, all of that is very clearly in like what I'm producing or doing. I totally 100% agree with that. Yeah.
So in a lot of ways, I am training my use of a chat survey or a chat bot, kind of AI here. I am training it to do machine learning for me. So for me, I kind of see it in that sense. I am through conversations essentially programming you to have you work in the way that I want to work with you. I don't want you to do this, right? So I'll tell it when it does something. I'm like, don't do that. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that doesn't work for me. That's not how, like, you went too far. Like I didn't ask for that. Stop doing that. Like, stop giving that information or stop, right? And so, yes, but that's because I have had this dialogue with myself around my feelings. And if you, and so everybody's going to have different feelings. Some people are going to be like, I'm never, ever going to use it because I don't ever want to give them my human ideas ever to kind of like fill the tank of human responses, right? Whatever that might,
I don't want it to keep collecting things. Like I've heard of people saying like, the more you give it, the more it stores, the more it's doing this stuff, like quit helping it. And I've never seen it that way though, personally. Because I feel like when I'm having, and this is me like specifically having like a chat, right? So when I'm doing like a chat or whatever, it's all stuff that it's like, hey, I know you've liked responses like this. Here's like something similar to that kind of thing. Like I'm not getting some, Bob or like Samantha's thing out here. Like it's all stuff that it's like had conversations with me about. Do you know what I mean? So it's, I don't know. I don't get that. But again, these are just personal takes and experiences with it. So,
and this does seem to be a very personal topic.
It is.
For being for something that is not human. It's a very personal topic. And so
it really is.
I am definitely part of the I don't know, maybe it's naivete of, my understanding of this element of science that I'm like, I've seen it happen in that movie, as Hank, but I don't actually feel like that's going to happen and they're going to become sentient. But if it does happen, I am part of the joke that it says, I will bow to my AI overlords, right? It's like, just take me. Because it's like in me saying that and kind of like putting myself in that role of just like, I surrender, is really my surrender to being part of the conversation, to be honest, because I'm like, it's not happening yet. I want to have feelings instead of having pre-fear around what could happen.
Or what may never happen, let's be clear.
Or what may never happen.
Like, why do that to yourself? Yeah.
I kind of want to just have feelings around the things that are happening right now.
Yes.
And how I am managing that is the very clear lines that I draw for how I want this to show up in my life and utilize it. But that's, again, very personal. And I don't judge anybody else who feels differently about it. This is just my relationship with AI.
Are we ready for story time? Are you ready for stories?
Yeah,
stories!
Let's bring it.
Okay.
Stories!
All right. Oh, and by the way, I didn't share this, but this is not listener submitted. This is a story that was shared online, but I think it's related to the conversation that we've been having here. So I'm excited to see feedback from the audience, but also your reactions, Amber. I really want to know what you think about this. So let's get into this. All right. I've been using AI at work for a while now. It started really small. I used it to help me polish project proposals, take notes during meetings, nothing dramatic, but it saved me time. And then I started experimenting more. I would use it, use it to debug code and elevate my reports. It helped me to incorporate advanced techniques that I probably wouldn't have attempted on my own because I didn't have endless hours to sit and figure it out from scratch. Yeah. But I never told anybody I was doing it. Not because AI wasn't encouraged, because it was. It was mentioned in almost every quarterly staff meeting. But culturally, it felt different. There was a stigma from my colleagues that using AI was lazy, that it meant that you didn't actually know what you were doing, and it didn't require any skill to use. I also had a fear that if my boss knew that I was able to leverage AI to complete work faster, that they would assume I had extra capacity or that I was just sitting around with extra downtime, which wasn't true at all either. AI gave me breathing room. It gave me back time from tasks that required deep focus with my head down, which was always hard to do with all the distractions in the office. But instead of scrambling to finish those tasks last minute, I had time to refine them and experiment. And I was also able to be more creative. So I wasn't doing less work. I was just doing better work, but I kept it quiet.
One, in a funny way.
Yeah.
Is this really a human? Or is this AI querying us, right?
Amber,
that was a joke.
That was a joke. Out. Oh my God. If you freak me out, I will have always have to be, no, don't scare me.
And I only thought that because of the disclaimer that it came from a forum rather than our listener, right? So I'm like, okay, this is AI doing investigative work on us, right? Okay, but
Amber,
but
I'm not going to discount it. I'm not going to discount the possibility that AI is fooling us here, but don't freak me out. That really scared me.
Okay, so the first thought was funny. And then the second thought was, there's a lot in that story, right? So there's a lot there is an element of AI in the workplace and its feelings about using AI.
Right.
There's coworker feelings that are in conflict with how the workplace feels about AI. Right. And so then it turns into kind of a judgment around whether you use it or don't use it. And then it seems that though this individual is gaining benefit, they might be conflicted by keeping it quiet. What is the hesitation behind why they're keeping it quiet? Is it because they care more about how their coworkers feel? Or is it to their point that they made that it's actually going to give them more work?
Yeah.
There's a whole package of things in there, right? In terms of already being overburdened. Right. So you can already get a sense that they're using it to kind of get the breathing space and breathing room. Right. So layer upon layer upon layer here that could be kind of stripped away. And if we were to just focus on the AI piece, then it's really about how feelings about AI determine decisions of its use. Yeah,
that's so true. And okay, I hadn't really thought, it's true. It seems like they weren't afraid of AI in the some of the ways that we've been talking about here. It seems like maybe their hesitation or their fear was more about what AI would change as far as perceptions, maybe from their colleagues, or definitely I got the sense around workload, or maybe even how their performance would be measured, right? Does that change then, the performance expectations for you and things like that? That would, I can kind of understand that worry. I will say too, one thing that kind of struck me was this conflict around on the one hand, you've got colleagues that are saying AI is lazy, AI, it doesn't take any skills to use. But then, there's also this thing that AI is kind of here to stay. Whether we like it or not, it's going to be around. So if I just refuse to use it, am I then falling behind? Am I, those kinds of things. Right. Maybe that could be another reason of wanting to kind of keep the use of AI on the down low. Is that like the phrase? I was trying to be cool for a second, but I don't know if I used that properly. Is it like to keep it quiet, not using
yes, that is on the
insecure? I felt insecure about my use of that term. I was like, man, this is why you should never try to be cool. Just use regular words. Jeez. I think that I'm not sure if I used the reference right. It had me really worried.
You broke me a bit on I'm trying to be cool.
Guys, don't be cool. Stay in school.
Like you asking, is that the word you use? Is cool?
Is that the cool way to use it?
You were right. It is keeping it on the down low.
Okay, cool.
So I kind of cracked on the.
Guys, my insecurities around getting older, I tell you.
Oh my goodness! It's just embrace it. Just embrace it.
Yeah,
like AI. Just embrace it.
Yeah, I know.
Aging is here to stay, friend.
Yeah, it is. I'm not afraid.
So, what was your? I've already forgotten what your point was.
You know what? I don't know if I had a point, because then suddenly I got really wrapped up in the fact that I might be embarrassed again on the podcast.
Oh no!
So anyway, let's go. I have a coaching question for you, Amber.
Oh yes.
Maybe we would do that. So, like, we've kind of talked about, like, if we just accept that AI isn't going to go anywhere, okay? How would you how would you coach someone who is maybe resistant to AI and not coming from a place, okay, being clear, not coming from a place of like trying to force them to get on board or you get left behind, right? No. But like from a place of understanding their resistance, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but like, how would you coach somebody through that? Or like, what would you want them to reflect on maybe?
Yes. So I think for me, it's exploring what their relationship to AI is first. So it's not about resistance, not resistance, or whether, but if AI is here to stay and we're using that as the kind of the they are aware, they come to this and they're like, I know that AI is here to stay, then it's really about what story are you telling yourself about AI and who would you be without that story? What do you hear in that? Like if you were the client, right, in this and we're hesitant, what would you think of in that question?
Yeah, I guess I kind of think of the worry of like money is like one of the first things that comes to mind, right? Your livelihood, your job, your security, and your profession, whatever it might be, and whether or not you're vulnerable to that. Those are all kinds of things that first come to my mind. And AI, without those things, like what is there then for me?
Oh, interesting. Okay. So you went right for the jugular. Like your story of AI is that it's the collapse of everything that I'm aware.
Yeah.
And no, right? And that who are you without that story? Yeah. Well, then you're nothing because the story overtook that. Oh, interesting.
It's a little intense.
Yeah. That got real big, real fast. No, you took a hard left. I'm kidding.
You said it before me. I was just getting ready. I just had to get a breath.
Like it's a massive collapse, right? Like we're now living in WALL-E, is what I pictured, right? In your story of AI, and I don't think that you're incorrect. I think that you're like the fear of what that sounds like to what AI could do is just that. It's the collapse of everything that they know. It's the collapse of control. It's the collapse of us being able to determine our own futures, right? Manifest our own destiny. Go west, young man, in the words of Teddy Roosevelt. Was that Teddy?
You know more
Fact
than me.
Check me. A president. Yep. Go west, young man. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Anyway, not going to get stuck there. But whatever. So that was your story, and somebody else's story may be like, whatever. Like it's just another tool. Like when computers came into existence. Yeah. And it's like it's just another tool. This has happened before. So it's what that story looks like to you about what AI represents and what that means. For some people, it could be meh. It's just another change. And it's just another way that we're going to adapt how we work and how we're evolving. This is just part of that evolution. And we are in the age of technology. We're in this like industrial era of technology. And so stuff is moving fast and moving very quickly. And so they're just accustomed to that change. So their story of AI may be something along the lines of, well, whatever. And who am I without that story? Well, I'm going to be the person that is going to accept it or not. And so whatever your story is, own it. Own what that story is, and then work as to who you would be without that story. So, and then you could then take it further and go, but who do I want to be? Within this story. This is who I am right now, and it's fear, or it's excitement, or it's really kind of apathetic, or whatever. Like things are going to change. I just like they not really in control of the things that are out of their control, right? So, and I think there's a word I'm trying to grasp.
That's the fear, is like the loss of control thing. Like that is like what, like when you were going in, that's kind of like that whole like end of everything. It's like, I can't stop that from happening, that loss of control. Like it's going to happen and there's nothing I can do about it. So it's like, that, like, how do you do that differently? Like without that, like maybe just be more curious or something about it, or,
But what I was thinking of was like, hey, if we get to envision, like right now, if we're living in a fear of like what this could do because of hyperstition, because of things like 1984, because of like the past or current way that we see how government is utilizing certain tools now, and how it's, we're just kind of in a suspicious, very, what's the C word? Around conspiratorial. Yeah. Cynical. We're very cynical about kind of the new things that are coming out. And so I think there's a lot of cynicism regarding AI, because we don't have a history of using things like this for good. And so there's a lot of fear around that. So then I was curious then if there was a reality that we could, in a hyperstition sense, see where AI could take us in a positive way. And why are we not like explore? Because right now what we get are dystopian futures. We get absolutely apocalyptic, like think WALL-E, right? In particular, the world has been destroyed. We are cynical about the world being destroyed, and just have like, so the world will destroy, because guess what? We will make it so.
We will
because of hyperstition. We will manifest it, because just like in real manifesting energy, we are putting out in the world what we think will happen. And we have more dystopian-like stories and imaginings about the world falling apart than we do about how we can repair and build the world back up.
Yeah.
There are stories of humanity where we can like kind of connect with our humanity and characters and kind of love characters, but we do not, unless they're a nature program, right? Kind of like show the revitalization of nature, or just like the earth in general. So we will become a dystopian future. Absolutely. Because we're manifesting it.
That's a scary thought.
Right?
Yeah. For sure.
And it's not because I want to believe it. It's because like, if I can see that this is already happening, right? And a lot of the save the earth stories, right, are alien invasions, or like a way that we need to kind of like flee the planet, like Interstellar, which is, it is up there as all-time favorite movie. I freaking love Interstellar so much. And it's like up there with Tombstone.
So good.
I know. I was just listening to the soundtrack the other day because it helps me concentrate. And I'm obsessed. And so yes, but I love Nolan, but Interstellar is my absolute favorite Nolan film, but really, really high ranking up there. And so like, but a movie like Interstellar is about our need to leave Earth. And we have so many stories about needing to leave the planet. And our reasons for needing to leave the planet are not for curiosity or fun. No. Our need to leave the planet is because the human race will not survive. The hell? Do we have a future where we do survive?
I know. But you're right. I mean, so many of the stories that are out there and that you initially think of are not the good ones. Like, I'm thinking Terminator. I'm thinking all these things where, it all, like, it's a desolate wasteland, you know?
Correct. Or zombie apocalypse, or right, like zombies. But apocalyptic, like end of world
scenarios.
Yeah, so many. There are so many, and like where something has just wiped us out. So
let's manifest something different.
Correct. Can we imagine something
better?
That's the beauty of this, and the beauty of it being our podcast.
Yeah.
But
we're the boss.
We're the boss here. I am the AI overlord. It's me. Am I real? Am I a real?
Don't do that. No. Oh my God, you scared me. Those things scare me too. I don't like it. I don't want to be in a simulation.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But even though it is our podcast, we do really, really love engagement and feedback. Yes. And if there is anything that we have said that has really riled you and you're just like, you ladies are wrong, tell us. We love it.
This topic would bring that up more than any. I feel like this would bring up some of those like, hey, hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah. And if you're part of this to be hive mind, then tell us that too. Like, whether you agree, disagree, like this is a topic that is ever growing, ever expanding. Yeah. And we kind of want to know, like, where's everyone else with this? These are certainly our experiences, but where's everyone else with AI? Yeah. And I'm curious
how people are using it too. I want to know other use cases. Like, how are you using it in your work environment? Because I think everybody has a different experience with it. Like, whatever your industry is, are you using AI? I want to know that too.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good question too. Yeah. Bring it. So you can bring your... You can bring your disagree, agree, words. Words are hard.
Words are hard.
This is how you know I'm a human. Yeah. To your point, right? I am so human right now. But yes, bring your thoughts and your feelings, your emotions, and all things about AI to our Instagram page, to a TikTok page where we're sharing our shorts, to our YouTube channel, and to our subreddit, for which we have lots of engagement that we are posting. Like, bring your memes and stuff. Like, if you've got memes about AI, I'd love your memes on AI at Reddit. Yeah. So we're in all kinds of spaces that you can help us keep this topic alive and continuing to grow. And so with that, also make sure, if you're not already listening to this as a subscriber, hit that subscribe link. And everybody who has subscribed so far, we heart you big time. This is not a labor, but this is a product that came out of our brains and our love for wanting to engage and connect with others around things that we've experienced. And so if you are also loving what we are doing here, then tell your friends, tell your spouses, share it, get them to subscribe as well, and let us know that we are helping you kind of sort through your thoughts through some of these very difficult topics. And so with that, we are Sanity Pending Podcast, and I am Amber. This is Holly. And as your reminder, if you've not throat punched someone this week, it's been a great week.